Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's Slap Film Club screening. We present the Academy Award-winning 1993 blockbuster Philadephia. Most notably, it won the Academy Award for Best Actor for Tom Hanks. Indeed, this is a role that many will not have seen Tom Hanks in up until this point. He was known for cult favourites like The Burbs, playing eccentric neighbours, or indeed in childish family films like Big. What he was not known for was serious dramatic performances, and 1993's Philadephia changed all that. Hanks plays Philadephia lawyer Andrew Beckett. Beckett is a rising star in his firm and up and coming, until his bosses discover that he has AIDS. They fabricate a story about Beckett not being up to speed, and he loses his job. However, Andrew knows that in actuality he was fired because of his disease. He then begins a case that he doesn't believe he can win, to find justice against his employers. Knowing that his health is failing, he encounters ambulance-chasing lawyer Joe Miller, the kind of man that many of us would never approach, only as a very last resort to take a case of any serious nature. Miller, a black man living in the United States, has faced prejudice all his life, but he cannot admit the fact within himself that he is homophobic, because he has never faced that prejudice until now. Learning as much as he can from Beckett, Miller forms a partnership and goes on to create an award-winning defence, which readily proves that indeed David can topple Goliath. This is a film which strikes many a speaking point in the hearts of audiences who see it. Indeed, many say that in the 23 years since the film was released, it's become dated and does not give a fair and accurate representation or depiction of the AIDS virus. But remember the time that it was released in. This, ladies and gentlemen, was a year before Schindler's List, was perhaps the same year as Jurassic Park. It was a time when Hollywood blockbusters were feel-good, family-friendly films or historical depictions of war and times of suffering. But what it didn't deal with is what we now consider commonplace, and that's real life. In fact, the only film that ever dealt with AIDS on a major scale before this is arguably Bill Sherwood's 1986 film Parting Glances, starring Steve Buscemi, which could be called underground at best. I therefore present for your consideration tonight Philadephia, a film which pretty much topples adversity. One man's courage and struggle against a Goliath of corporation that he never thought he could win, which ultimately it's not about him sitting there remembering that he has won, rather it's about what he can achieve in death more than what he did in life. Look out for supporting roles from Antonio Banderas and Mary Steenburgen. Indeed, this was one of Banderas' first ever major roles in Hollywood, and the actor admits he could hardly speak a word of English when filming began. It is therefore my great privilege to introduce to you Philadephia. Thank you.